What's going on, everybody? It's your boy John Angel from Addiction Hero Scar Stories, and we are at episode 7 today. Today's topic will be my living situations on drugs because they all change and ended up me homeless living out of an elevator. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, when I first started doing drugs, I of course lived at home with my parents and would hide it. You're on drugs now. I'm just fucking stoned or blah blah blah. Always had an excuse. I mean, I got to get caught a couple times. I'd leave for the night and come back. But I always hid it. My parents weren't fucking stupid, dude. I was losing weight, wasn't eating. I remember I used to at night, even if I was really fucking high and tweaking, like I would go get a bowl of cereal or something and just make it look like I was fucking eating. I usually always like just wait till I went to bed and threw it down the drain or threw it away. I never fucking ate or just sit in my room. But anyway, so I was always fucking living with my mom. My parents ended up, when I first really got into drugs, they ended up splitting. So I kind of like really got into drug use really hard after that. I used that as a crutch, but it wasn't due to them splitting. It wasn't due to that. I just wanted to get high. I just wanted to get fucking high. I loved fucking, drugs were fucking delicious. End of story, drugs were fucking delicious to me. I was a drug addict. I like fucking drugs, dude. It wasn't things could happen and, I got high because my dad left. I got high because my girl. No, fuck that. I got high because I wanted to get high. End of story. So, anyway, so my living situations, I was always, lived with, with my mom and, she, so she always knew and everything. But later in the years, when I really started getting into heroin really bad, she would like kick me out for a couple days. I'd go stay at my boy Rex's house. I'd go stay at, my homie Matt's house, I'd leave to Idaho for, a couple months, stay with my dad, get clean, come back. But so I became homeless for a while. And then I remember when it first happened, I was doing heroin. And me and my mom got into it one morning. We were just fucking bickering and she was saying shit. And she threatened to kick me out, and bad idea what I said. Actually, it was a good idea because it saved my life. So I remember we were talking. She was like, "Oh, you can kick me out." And I remember seeing something if you had like residency or something, like you got mail to the house, they couldn't formally kick you out. And we got in a fight, and I remember, she was like, "Oh, Packer should get the fuck." I was like, "You can't. I have residency here. You can't kick me out. Call the cops. They won't." She knew where all my stashes was, like, I was getting high, like, I think she was just waiting for that fucking day. So, I said that, I was like, "Oh, you can't kick me out. Brent said I get mail here, call the fucking cops." She goes and grabs my cigarette pack and pulls all my foil out. She's like, "Not when drugs are involved, get the fuck out of my house." I was like, fuck you, I don't need you. I'm gonna go do the biggest shot of fucking heroin ever. So I get on my bike and I leave, and I remember I'm riding down the street, "Fuck you, you fucking cunt, bitch, motherfucker," going crazy, And that's when I met up with Chad, and I told you about the house story, the first night of the story, so I'm not gonna get into that. But Chad was smart. Chad was fucking street smart, it wasn't for him. So we ended up staying in these elevators it was in a courtyard, like none of the doors were locked. You could like walk right through those open buildings, and there was these elevators we used to stay in. And we would take them to the top floor and we would put our skateboards in between it, unless it was like really cold out. But so if someone came in the morning and our skateboards were like in the like pathway, if they hit it, it would kind of like jam, but it wouldn't go down. So it would give us time to fucking wake up, So of course, they would go down and we'd come out of it, freak people out. But there's 2 elevators we used to stay at. There was one on it was between on Buffalo, between Vegas Drive and Washington. It was between there. But then there was one on Washington and Buffalo behind the Rebel we used to stay at. It's in my heroin documents, but we always stayed there, man. It was a place to stay. Like, yeah, it was home to us, you know what I mean? And there was a certain time we had to go there because we just couldn't go there But we used to go to the one, between, it was in a complex, and the cleaning lady was cool with us. She would always, like, be there, and it would be early, and, we'd try to keep the elevator clean and whatever, and we would leave. But I don't know, I guess one week we were just getting really fucked up and bad, and she was like, oh, I told my boss, and they called the cops. I remember, dude, when she said that, me and my buddy Brandon Chad, like, oh, dude, like, we were about to fuck her truck up type shit. I mean, we were pissed, but, like, we didn't do anything of it because it was like, get the fuck out and go. Cops are on the fucking way. We had dope. We had to, fucking go. And it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. Being homeless, you had to wake up fucking early. I remember on the streets, all I wanted, I was like, dude, I just want to sleep I just want to sleep till like 8, man. I just want to sleep. That was a good thing about going to jail. You got to fucking sleep. So, yeah, so pretty much we stayed at the elevator on Washington and Buffalo behind the Rebel. It had a staircase, it had an open thing, we could chill. We learned how to break into the fucking bathroom, and I mean it's a small fucking elevator. I mean, it was about held 2 to 3 people, if that, but we would just kind of stay by the bathrooms and like sleep by the bathroom door. And that's where we all used to fucking sleep. And I remember one time sleeping, I went back there, and that's when I started shooting up. I got real high one time, and I wasn't with anybody, and I was pretty much ODing, and my buddy Chad showed up. Chad and the old school homie Shane, they showed up, and I had a needle in my fucking hand, just fucking foaming. I couldn't stick my tongue in my mouth, just fucking, pretty much ODing, dude. My buddy Chad, like, snapped me fucking out of it, dude, and pretty much saved my fuck. If he wouldn't have showed up, I would have probably died that fucking night. And yeah, we lived in elevators, man. That's just what we fucking did. We had a fucking Rebel right there, gas station. It was just fucking home. And that fucking elevator where we lived at, man, like, if cops were coming by, as long as we, like, sat in the staircase or, like, in the elevator, they didn't really ever fuck with it. They never showed up on us. They would just drive through. As long as you weren't seen, you were fine, and it was just crazy, dude, to fucking, that's where we lived. That was home. We would bring some people back to them, like, what the fuck, this is where you live? We're like, yeah, this is where we fucking live, dude, so it was just fucking crazy. That's where I lived, fucking. But it's crazy. I'd go to jail, I'd get out, and I'd get clean, and my mom's like, okay, you can stay, as long as you're not getting high or whatever, you have a place to fucking live. You don't have to live on the fucking streets. But I was so into drugs, I would rather, fucking sleep on the streets and do heroin than get clean and fucking live a normal life. And my mom, I would go by my mom's house, and she would let me fucking, take a shower. She'd give me food and everything. But if she knew I was high, she'd, oh, you can go, dude, because she knew I was high. Or I'd be in the shower, and I'd have a needle fucking loaded. So the second I got in that shower, I'd fucking hit myself, dude, real fucking quick. And, yeah, that was my living situation, dude. I lived on the fucking streets, and, it sucked, dude. The shit, you had to fucking deal with, from it raining, storming, the fucking heat, just fucking, just everything, being fucked with on the street. But, at least, we had a closed place to fucking lay our heads. And then if cops did, I mean, it never happened, but if they did fuck with us, it wasn't breaking and entering, we opened the button and fucking opened, so it was more of trespassing, so it wasn't really a legal status. Like I said, breaking and entering, depending how you got in, that could be a felony, so pretty much us, trespassing, it was just a low misdemeanor unless we got caught with drugs, but we never did, Chad was fucking, I remember this one time, man, I'll never forget it. It was me, Chad, and Brandon. We were staying at the elevator between Vegas Drive and Washington, and we were doing a bunch of dope, and my buddy Brandon was paranoid. There was these windows of all these different offices, and he was like, dude, there's someone in that office. And I mean, he was fucking paranoid. And Chad's like, dude, no one's over there. And he's like, dude, there's someone here, be quiet. Chad gets out. Chad wasn't paranoid. Chad didn't give a fuck, dude. Chad goes over to this fucking window. Boom, 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 boom. Just bangs the fuck out of it. I'm talking loud. Chad goes, there's no one in the fucking window, bro. There's no one there. Brandon ends up fucking leaving, dude. I mean, I got a little fucking sketched out, but Chad comes back, he's like, No one's in the fucking window, dude. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious, bro. But anyway, so that was, I lived on the fucking streets in an elevator, that's just another part of my fucking story, that's what drugs brought me down to, oh, I could have had a fucking home, but no, let's fucking shoot heroin in a fucking elevator, so that's a short one today. That's just the topic of, living situations, and that's where I lived unless I was in jail. It was either in jail or living in an elevator. That was my, or I'd spend the night at, my best friend Rex's house. It was always nice to go over there and hang out at nights and hang out in his garage. We'd be up all night, or, his parents loved me, so even if I did, I would crash, would go into the back of his room, and he had this big fucking recliner. I'd always sleep on the blue recliner, man. It was like the most comfortable. It was always a recliner, man. I was always there, fucking. I remember one time, dude, fucking, he was gone, and I was so sick, and I just wanted to fucking sleep, dude, so I walked in through his garage. He wasn't home, and I ended up passing out on his fucking couch, and he came home, and he looked, he's like, Johnny, I was like, hey, what up, bro? And he was like, did I say or my dad let you in? I was like, no, I just kind of showed up. I just needed to sleep, bro. I'm so sorry. He was so pissed. He was like, bro, you can't just come. I was like, dude, your grandma fucking loves me, dude. It's all fucking good. But yeah, I remember I just showed up one night. Oh, that was fucking funny. But anyways, thank you for tuning in to Addiction Hero Scar Stories, episode 7, Living Situations. It's not worth it, guys, man. Just get clean, and if you have a home to stay in, it's worth getting clean. The streets are a fucking tough place, man. So that was my story on living places. I will catch you for the next episode 8 of Addiction Hero Scar Stories. Y'all stay tuned. Peace.